Peace. It's Equality Fragrances coming to you from PG County, Maryland. Welcome to my cipher. A cipher is a person, place, a thing within my circumference. The understanding of my cipher. It's peace. For all those new to the channel, those stopping through, and those who've been supporting me since day one, I humbly appreciate your support. Do not forget to like. Don't forget to comment. I reply to all comments. Don't forget to share the video to anybody who you think may find my videos entertaining or may learn something from it. And don't forget to hit the bell so you will be notified when I drop some new videos. With that being said, come on in, sit down, and let's build. Today, I'm going to be doing my final installment of my summer list. Y'all asked for it, so I'm going to give it to you. This is going to be my top 10 summer niche list 2020. You know how I'm going to do. I'm going to give you 2 honorable mentions, and I'm going to give you 10 fragrances. I'm going to try to make it quick, try to make it fast without talking too fast. Anyway, let's start the show. Honorable mention number 1 could be a controversial pick, but I believe that niche fragrances aren't determined by how much something costs. I don't care if it's $60 or if it's $400. If it's niche, it's niche. If it's designer, it's a designer fragrance. And this is coming from the house of Rasasi. Yes, Rasasi. And this is Rasasi Hawas. What can we say about for him? What can we say about this fragrance that hasn't been said all over YouTube? This has been compared to Invictus Acqua 2016. I haven't smelled that fragrance. I can't speak to the performance or how that fragrance smells, but what I can say is I have smelled Invictus Acqua, and it does have that kind of Invictus Acqua DNA. There's a watery accord in it that gives that aquatic nuance. You have a lot of fruits. You have some lemon, I believe some bergamot. You have plum in here. When you start combining it, it almost gives off this melon-like take. It's very sweet, a little spicy that comes from cinnamon and cardamom. Overall, this is a sweet performing fragrance. Now, if it's humid, I probably wouldn't reach for this. That might be too sticky on my skin, but it performs, it projects daytime or nighttime. A great club scent because of the sweet nature and the performance of it. Honorable mention number 1, Rasasi Hawas for him. Honorable mention number 2 comes from the house of Bond number 9, and that's bondnumber9.com. This is a tester I picked up. If you look good enough for it, you can maybe find this for the testers for about 120. You just don't get the cap. Who cares about the cap? Unless you really want it. I wouldn't pay over $150 for this, but what do you get? We all should know what you get with this. You get this Creed Aventus inspired fragrance. What I've learned is when you start getting bergamot and pineapple, or a nice lemon and pineapple combined in the opening, it almost comes off very candy-like, very zesty, very bright, very sweet, and that's what you get here. You get juniper berry that gives off a refreshing, almost gin-style fragrance to it. It gets woody, I believe oak moss, patchouli, cedarwood might be in here. There is no smoke in here, so if I was going to say what kind of Aventus, because even Aventus doesn't smell like Aventus, because there's so many different batches, but this would be compared to maybe like a really fruity batch with no smoke. But at the end of the day, to me, Aventus is Aventus. This doesn't smell like Aventus, but it definitely took parts of the DNA of Aventus. It's crowd pleasing, it performs, it lasts. I get about 6-7 hours with it. Overall, a very solid fragrance. I wouldn't overpay for it, but it's a nice one to have if you haven't tried it out. So honorable mention number 2 is bondnumber9.com. Coming in at number 10. For those who've been watching my channel, you know how I feel about vanillas. You should know how I feel about ambers, boozy scents, and gourmands. And most of the time in the summertime, you have to put those fragrances away, especially in the summer daytime. They just don't work. But I have 2 fragrances I'm gonna highlight at number 10 that do work in high heat. The first one comes from Acqua de Parma from that Blue Mediterranean line, and this is Mandorlo di Sicilia. This fragrance, you will get almond, vanilla, star anise that gives a little sweetness to it, spicy. You get some peach in here, some musk, some woody nuances. How I would describe this fragrance is French vanilla ice cream with candy almonds on top. Some people say they get root beer to it, but I've never really been a fan of root beer. I don't drink a lot of root beer, so my olfactive memory won't equate the two as a root beer kind of feel. But if that's what you get, that's what you get. Masculine or feminine, Most people, I don't see gender in fragrances, y'all should know that, but most people would say this leans a little bit feminine because sweet gourmand fragrances tend to lean a little feminine. I get that, but my first one for number 10 is Acqua de Parma Mandorlo di Sicilia. My second choice is one I really kind of can't recommend to you. I personally like it, and I was okay with it. I spent my own money for it. And this is from the House of Creed, and that's Sublime Vanille. Now, gorgeous bottle, but I'm gonna be honest, you only gonna get about 5-6 hours on this. This is one you can put 20 sprays on. Now, people have said Chanel Allure Edition Blanche is your lemon meringue pie. False. This is your lemon meringue pie right here. You get bergamot, you get lemon, you get musk, you get tonka bean, vanilla, and vanilla orchid. It's a little powdery, fresh, that comes from the tonka bean and the white musk, or the musk to it. Gives it almost a fresh, very clean scent to it. It's bright, it's creamy because of the vanilla, the tonka, and the bergamot and the lemon. It's not going to overly project. It's not going to be a room filler. It gives pretty good sillage. Performance, again, about 4.5, 5 hours is what you're going to get. And for the price that you pay for this, that's ridiculous. I'm going to be honest with you, man. I wouldn't pay over $220 for it. And even at $220, you can find a fragrance that I can think of 5, 6, 7 fragrances I can get for that price that's just going to be overall better. But for me, in my collection, I personally really enjoy this fragrance. You can dress it up, you can wear it casually, you can wear it to work. It is such a safe scent. Again, this is one people gonna say leans feminine. I get that, but I like wearing it because why? Because I can. Anyway, my number 10 is Mandorlo di Sicilia and Sublime Vanille by Creed. Coming in at number 9 comes from the house of Shay and Blue, and that's Shay and Blue Blood Oranges. What can I say about this fragrance? This is a fragrance that uses natural ingredients. Why? Because you can tell the opening is fleeting because they use real blood oranges. And that's how you can tell the difference between a synthetic used fragrance and a natural. Synthetics are going to last long. If this was synthetic, it would last, the opening would last a lot longer than what it does. And the opening is like a 9. The dry down is like a 7.5. Overall, this fragrance is a 7.5 fragrance to me. It opens up with a very juicy, realistic blood oranges. It's like you took blood oranges and squeezed it on your skin and let it dry. At about the 45-minute mark, it's going to start going away. At about the hour and 10 mark, that blood orange is going to really subside and die down. And what you're going to get left with is a musky, woody, ambery, smooth leather kind of scent, which is okay overall. The blood oranges, the opening is really what makes this fragrance. I wish it lasted longer, but I get it. When you use naturals versus synthetics, that's what you're going to get. Anyway, my number 9 is Shay and Blue Blood Oranges. Coming in number 8 is one of my favorite Neroli fragrances I own within my collection. That's coming from the house of Haramain from their portfolio collection, and this is Neroli Canvas. This bangs, man. It's just bright. It's effervescent. It may be a little unnatural in the beginning, but give it about 20 minutes as it starts settling down. This just performs too. For a Neroli fragrance, which I normally get only about 4 or 5 hours with, I'm getting at least 6-7 hours on this. This is the kind of Neroli fragrance for people who don't like Neroli. They may like this fragrance. It just hits, man. In the summertime, off of skin, this can be worn casually. You can dress this up. A good daytime party scent. I mean, you can work safe, gym safe if you want to go to the gym. It's just overall a nice, clean, citrus, floral scent that you can wear. It's been compared to Tom Ford's Neroli Portofino Forte, maybe. I can see that, but this is just its own class, especially when it comes to performance. So on a scale of 1 to 10, this is a solid 8.5, easy. It just works. So coming in at number 8 is Neroli Canvas by Haramain. Coming in at number 7 is from Laboratory Perfumes, and that is Gorse. What is this? This fragrance has been compared to Old Virgin Island Water by Creed. I believe the blue top. I haven't smelt it. I can't speak to that. But I have smelt the newer renditions of Virgin Island Water, and I get that Virgin Island Water feel to it. This only has a couple of notes. Has the gorse flower, which is supposed to come off like a little like coconut. So you get this citrusy, lime, coconut, almost aquatic kind of nuance to it. A very nice scent, great for summertime. People say that this performs better than Virgin Island Water. I don't own it, I can't speak to that, but I do get about 6-7 hours on this, sometimes 7.5. A great hot weather scent, spray it on, it just performs. Work safe, night safe, casual. If you want to dress it up, this is a vacation scent. If I would have been doing like top 10 vacation scents, this would have been in one of them. Anyway, from Laboratory Parfums, that's Gorse. Coming in at number 6 comes from the house of Xerjoff, and that's Cruz del Sur 2. This fragrance here, I would describe it as one thing, and that's a mango smoothie. That is it. That is all. It's a realistic mango. It's extremely creamy and milky because of the milk accord in here. It has a bouquet of florals in here, some woody nuances, and some other fruits like pineapple and guava. But that pineapple isn't a sharp, really like ripe pineapple, and it really just sets in the background. It's just a supporting role. This is all mango, florals, and milk is what you get here with a little bit of guava. A great vacation scent. A really good casual scent. I believe this is Parfum concentration. It just works. It performs. I'm getting about 7.5 hours on it. But overall, it's rather expensive. So if you can find it for a good price, get it. If not, somebody might make a clone of this somewhere, maybe do it somebody. But overall, a very solid vacation scent. If I was going to do a vacation top 10, this would be in it. So coming in at number 6, that's Cruz del Sur 2. Coming in at number 5 is a fragrance that was getting a lot of buzz this summer from various different YouTubers, and it deserves the buzz that it's getting. And that's from the house of Geeza, and that's Coco Moon. This fragrance is a creeper. So when you're smelling it off the nozzle, or even when you first put it on skin, it wears really, really, really light. And you'll ask yourself, I need to put like 10, 15 sprays on it for it to last. No, man. This is going to be loud, and it's going to leave an amazing scent trail. This is great for layering as well. This is Pina Colada. It's very woody. Cedar wood's a very good note on this. You're going to get coconut. You're going to get pineapple. You're going to get some woody oak moss. I believe you get some florals in there, maybe tuberose and maybe jasmine. I hate jasmine, but it's done right here. So it's a very like strong but light scent. And I've done a story time with this. A partner of mine said you need to get it. It's going to perform. It's going to project. When I first put it on, I was like, man, this thing ain't as strong as you say it is. I was wearing a mask, and then all of a sudden I started getting wafts. In the summertime, in the heat, this is going to work. 5 sprays is about all you need. If you outside, if you inside, maybe 3, no more than 4. It just works. It smells good. You will get complimented. It's very strong. Is it unisex? Yes. But women, if you decide to get this, just understand it is strong. It wears light, but it's a strong composition. So coming in at number 5 is Geeza Coco Moon. Coming in at number 4 comes from my favorite perfumer in the game right now. That's Rasei Fort. And this is Kolonya. Listen, let me tell you about this fragrance. One, it smells like nothing on the market. Nothing smells like it. Matter of fact, I don't think anything he's created smells like anything else on the market. And in 2020, that is a plus. This is amazing. It's like a good twist on a fougere. It's very aromatic. It's citrusy. It's fruity. It's green. This has like plum in it. Has blood orange in there. I believe some bergamot, some lemon. You have some florals in here, some woody nuances. Then you got like benzoin in here. This changes several times from being really aromatic to juicy to green. Every time I wear this, I feel like I get a different experience. I wore this and I was thinking, where's light? At about the 4-hour mark, I really couldn't smell it. So I had a woman walk up to me and I was with my lady, was like, come here, let me smell you. You smell good. Complimented. To me, this fragrance is a 10 out of 10 fragrance. Now, it comes in a splash bottle, so you have to put it on old school style or do like I did, decant it out, put it in a decanter and spray it on that way. It's affordable. I believe only like $120 something at Lucky Scent. And this for 50 ml, not bad for niche perfumery. I personally like this. I enjoy wearing it. That's from the house of Rasei Fort, and that's Kolonya. At number 3, trigger warning, is the one, the only, yes, Creed Aventus. Now, we all know this fragrance. You can get on the internet and say it's overpriced. I might agree with you, but then I'm gonna ask you why you paying retail for it. We can also complain how even Creed Aventus doesn't smell like Creed Aventus because it has so many different batch variations that change the entire composition of the fragrance. That is problematic. I can agree on that. What I will never agree on is the fact that this is overrated. You cannot be copied that many times and be overrated in any kind of situation. Saying this is overrated is like saying Michael Jordan is overrated because Kobe exists. There would be no Kobe without Mike, period. Now, let's get on to this fragrance. This is a newer batch. It is, I believe, 20A01N. This batch, I'm getting good performance. I'm getting 7 to 8 hours on this. We all know it. This will be considered more of a fruity batch. And I'm not a batch grail hunter, but this comes off very fruity off me. I'm getting a lot of apple. I'm getting bergamot, and I'm getting the pineapple heavy in here. Not a lot of birchy. The birch is subdued, not heavy in vanilla. This is just fruity, woody, leathery, clean, musky scent. This works. This batch works. Again, I don't even believe in backup bottles, but this may be worth a backup bottle for this particular batch because I just have a feeling that this is going to be a grail batch 4 or 5 years from now. I should probably pick up another bottle, especially if I enjoy the composition. Anyway, number 3 is Creed Aventus. Coming in at number 2 is really arguably my number 1 favorite summer fragrance of 2020, but my number 1 has a little help, and you will see why my number 1 is my number 1 when I get to it. But anyway, let's discuss number 2. That comes from the house of Navitus Parfums, and that's Vivamor. This fragrance right here, let's talk about the price. You can get a 50 ml of this with a pressurized atomizer in this presentation for $95. They had a sale where I think it was like 15 or 20% off, so you can get this for like $80. That is a steal. What do you get? I've done a review on this. I've discussed this ad nauseum. Y'all should know how I feel about it, but I'll go briefly. This is like taking a really fruity batch of Creed Aventus and mixing it with Baccarat Rouge 540. Yes, Alexandria Fragrances has a fragrance called Game Time. This smells very similar to Game Time, but this runs laps around Game Time, period. It's just candy-like. The opening, if this is I've always said this is a 9.5 fragrance to me. The only reason this is not a 10, because I want that candy, lemony, pineapple opening to last longer than what it does. But think like this nice, juicy, sweet, candy-like lemon, woody fragrance in the beginning that dries down to a sweet, woody, like Baccarat Rouge 540, peekaboo vibe with pineapple in the background. Amazing, amazing, amazing composition. I enjoy it, highly complimented. It could be my number 1, but for today, it's my number 2. And that's from the house of Navitus Parfums. That's Vivamor. Coming in at number 1 is a layering combination. I was the first person on IG talking about this layer combination. The first person in the fragrance groups talking about, on Facebook talking about this combination. And I know I was the first person on YouTube talking about this combination. This is called the Equality layer. Do it. If you do it, pay homage, man. And that is Nishane Hacivat and Nishane Ani. When you put these two together, it is trouble, man. Thought juice. Now, both of these fragrances on their own, you're going to get great performance. 8+ hours out of both of them on their own. Excuse me. The sensillage that you're going to get with this is crazy. And that's individually. When you put these together, you get this very juicy pineapple, almost gourmand vanilla fragrance. Now, what would be the layering combination? What I wouldn't do is go 1 for 1. 1 for 1, Ani will swallow Hacivat. Pause, man. Calm down, Ani. Calm down. But will take over, completely take over. You at least should probably go 2 to 1, if not 3 to 1 combination. If you're just spraying on skin, I would probably go, depending on where I'm going, I'll probably go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 with Hacivat, and then I'll probably go shoulder with Ani, and just kind of let it and maybe one on the center of the chest, and just let it do what it do. You will be a walking, delicious masterpiece, man. It works. I don't know what else to say about it. It works no matter where you go. Highly complimented. I'm not going to belabor the point. Maybe it deserves its own video. And that's from the house of Nishane. And it's a layer, the Equality layer. That's Hacivat and Ani for the win. That was my top 10 summer niche fragrances 2020. I truly apologize for those of you all. I didn't get these out to you sooner. But listen, the reality is everybody don't live in the Northeast like I live. Summertime, if I'm in Southern California, San Diego, guess what? Summertime is every day. If I'm in Florida, guess what? Summertime is like every day. If I'm in other parts of the world, guess what? Summertime is every day. So take that for what it is. If you live in a place where it's gonna get really cool, this video wasn't for you. Get over it. If you are in a place who enjoys summer scents, check the video out. Hope you enjoyed. Again, leave your comment down below. I'll reply to all comments. And thank you for supporting the channel. I appreciate you all. So I'm going to leave you the way I greeted you. And that's in universal language of peace.